6 people were shot. One of those, a juvenile, was killed.
Tonight we are talking with the grandmother of one of those shooting victims who tells us her granddaughter lucky to be alive.
Now we're just praying that everything is okay.
This woman who asked not to be identified telling us about her 19-year-old granddaughter, one of 6 people shot during a red, white, and boom after party on the city's south side.
Shots rang out and everything, and they ran, and as I guess she was running, the bullet hit her leg.
A teenage boy losing his life in the gunfire. One parent sending us the invitation for the late-night house party advertised on social media. Neighbor India Riley posting this video of the shooting aftermath, telling us hundreds of kids showed up to the Wilson Avenue party, which turned into chaos when a group of guys were asked to leave.
They were told to leave the party because they had guns. So instead of leaving the party, they ended up going through the back and pretty much ambushing the whole party.
Columbus police around 2:30 Friday morning found 3 people shot in the home where the party was happening. 3 other victims showed up at hospitals with gunshot wounds. ABC6 talking with a man who said he was working security at the party when the shots rang out.
It's always the 18 to 19-year-olds that are out here shooting people, or they're the ones dying because they're unsupervised. They're getting guns from older people. And
Columbus police not releasing a motive at this time for the shooting as investigators searched for the suspects that opened fire, that claimed the life of one teenager and nearly cost the life of another.
We're so lucky. We're so lucky.
The Columbus Division of Police just released a statement following this deadly shooting. They say in part, we cannot stress this enough. Our community is hurting. These acts of violence demand urgent attention from all of us, law enforcement, community leaders, parents, and neighbors. And Mayor Andrew Ginther also released a statement saying in part, I am deeply saddened and angry that we lost a young person to violence last night and that several others were injured.
It's such a sad situation.
A sad situation, highlighting a trend of youth violence in the city. This shooting comes just weeks after another deadly incident near the Scioto Mile, where 6 teens were shot and 1 killed in the early morning hours. Columbus police issuing a statement saying, in part, we are asking parents and guardians to be vigilant. Know who your children are with. Know where they're going. We need your help to prevent the next tragedy. The safety of young people cannot fall solely on the shoulders of police officers. Also emphasizing the community is hurting.
They need something to do. Play baseball, play football, anything but shoot a gun at your friends.
Just hours before this latest shooting, members of Mothers of Murdered Columbus Children were at Red, White, and Boom, talking to young people, encouraging them to choose peace over violence.
Now I felt like it was in this position that we're in, we have a position of voice that can really lead a teen to do the right thing. So we decided to come down and try to just encourage teens to enjoy themselves rather than do things that they shouldn't be doing.
The organization later released a statement that read in part, we woke up devastated by the news of yet another tragedy. Our children should be home by the designated city curfew.
Police say that 17-year-old Cameron Moore was the victim in the shooting that took place in this house in the early morning hours of the 4th of July. Authorities say more than 100 people, mostly teenagers, were packed into a pop-up party when gunfire erupted around 2:40 a.m. Cameron Moore was killed in the shooting, and 5 others went to the hospital with injuries and are expected to survive. Neighbors described the scene as chaotic, like something out of a movie, as people ran from the gunfire. Rodney Riley lives nearby and says his daughter was inside at the party. He rushed to the home after finding his daughter unharmed. He tells us he came across Cameron Moore and tried to get him help.
I wouldn't want anyone to feel that emotion. As a father, I couldn't imagine what it would have been like if my daughter didn't say, Dad, here I am. It was very humbling. It was very surreal.
I'm furious and saddened. The recklessness of this violence.
Police say officers responded to the party on a disturbance call shortly before the gunfire.
They responded and then, basically warned them, essentially, hey, you need to calm it down, and then left. And then obviously later on, sometime after that is when that incident happened.
Neighbors say dozens of underage kids were at the party when officers arrived. ABC6 asking police about their concerns. They had to have seen that there were kids underage. Why didn't they enforce the curfew?
I can say that we're always reassessing how do we do things better.
Police still searching for suspects in that deadly shooting. The week in violence comes as the city sees a major drop this year in homicides and felonious assaults and are taking large numbers of illegal guns off the street.
I know that folks are frustrated, believe me. I am frustrated by what I saw this weekend. It is completely and totally unacceptable.
Columbus police say they now plan to reach out to short-term rental companies about obtaining real-time info about properties while responding to a call. The mayor looking at new legislation that focuses on short-term rental properties.
We're going to do what makes sense. I'm not interested in just passing ordinances and making statements. We want to do something that's going to make a difference and help protect our officers and protect the public.
ABC6 contacted the rental company where the weekend shooting happened. We have not heard back.
I heard the shots go out.
Fanon Bonsu recalling the chaos she heard on Wilson Avenue early 4th of July morning.
I saw a lot of people just scattering and crying, a bunch of cars trying to get away. It's just chaotic.
Police say more than 100 people, mostly teens, were at the pop-up party when the shooting happened.
That puts a stain on our block. It makes me feel like, we have no control over who's here. The families that are here should be able to say, we feel unsafe.
Now Senate Democrats want to change legislation following that mass shooting on the 4th of July that left a 17-year-old boy dead and multiple others injured. State Senator Herschel Craig issuing a statement saying thoughts and prayers will never be enough, calling on his colleagues to prioritize public safety with new legislation.
At the end of the day, we might quarrel, but it doesn't have to come down to gun violence.
In addition to 2 other Senate bills, Craig said he will introduce legislation that would include repealing Ohio's statewide ban on local gun laws, allowing cities to make their own regulations, give gun owners the option to store their firearms outside their home at regulated locations, and ban bump stocks and other accessories, something Bonsu says she would be in full support of.
The guns are keeping them safe. That's a false sense of security. Our laws should support young people, especially this baby was underage.
Mayor Andrew Ginther said the city will be considering legislative and administrative action to address the pop-up party problem at short-term rentals. And Columbus police are still investigating this case, encouraging anyone with information to come forward.
He had the biggest smile, and when he smiled, it just lit up the room.
Life's darker now for 17-year-old Cameron Moore's family.
Forever 17 is what his mother has been sharing, that Cameron will forever be 17.
Cam's cousin, Lakeisha Richardson, says he had big dreams and plans.
He wasn't quite sure what his career path would be, but one thing that he knew was that he wanted to finish school and he wanted to gain employment. And he wanted to take care of his mother. He wanted to take care of his family.
His family's now grieving without him.
Broken. Only because of the conversations that never came to fruition.
Now they want someone to speak up for Cam.
I believe that we have a duty, even the young adults who were there. And I know a lot of parents might think, I don't want my child involved. I don't want to be a witness. Some young people may say, I don't want to be a rat. I don't want to be a snitch. Being a productive member of your community is not being a rat. It's not being a snitch.
Columbus police estimate more than 100 people, mostly teens, were at the party when Cam and 5 others were shot. It took place at a short-term rental home in South Columbus.
When you made that decision to attend that experience, to me, you opted in, and so you have an accountability to not be a bystander and to share what that experience was like and what you saw.
Richardson says it's heavy for her to see her cousin die at 17 and youth continuously being involved in violence in our communities.
They have so much to live for. They haven't even tapped into the essence of who they are and their beings. There's so much more to life.
Oh, chill. Back up. Hold my gas, 614. Back up.
Well, the event is called Thursday Night Thrillers. It's a partnership between Whitehall Police and a nonprofit called Real Solutions, aimed at providing, well, real solutions towards keeping kids off of the streets and giving them an outlet through basketball and other resources. And while much of that event went really smoothly, they say, with nearly 4,000 people, they say that tensions escalated as we went further into the evening. Now, new body camera video shows officers trying to control that crowd at Thursday Night Thrillers, ultimately having to use pepper spray to do some crowd control. About an hour before the event was scheduled to end, police say 3 separate fights broke out outside of the basketball court, so not inside the event itself. 5 juveniles were arrested for misdemeanor disorderly conduct, but later released to their parents. Police confirmed they were not initially expecting that many people to show up, but they said this was an isolated incident and should not deter people from getting involved in the event.
Back up! Back up! You're gonna get spread! Back up! Back up! What are we doing, ladies? We need to go home.
We're looking for a phone. That's all.
Because you were out here fighting, huh? Well, why doesn't the police help you find your phone? Let us help you find your phone.
33B.
Hey, we're done. We're done. You're next. Come here. She's under arrest. Nope, she's under arrest. She's under arrest.
Get off him.
Get off of him. She's under arrest for disorderly conduct.
She didn't fight.
She tried.
No, she didn't her.
It's all right. Biggs, disorderly conduct. Get her out of here. You can pick her up at the police station. We're not.
Take her.
We are.
Take her.
She's under arrest.
Take her.
Disorderly conduct.
She's gonna get right back out.
That's
all right.
That's all right.
Take her.
Yeah.
I'm good out here. I'm good out here. None of that.
It's frustrating that we would have that actor show up and cause some issues at an event like this, especially when, like you said, the whole purposes of this event is exactly the opposite of that. We responded quickly. You know, it was busy for a minute, but it was back under control and pretty orderly very quickly.
Whitehall police are meeting to discuss what additional security measures they'll put in place to ensure that this event continues to run smoothly in the future. But organizers here say that the basketball nights here at John Bishop Park are a lifeline for this community. It really is a grassroots approach to tackling these real issues and keeping these teens occupied during the summer months. A 4-year-old boy is in stable condition here at Nationwide Children's Hospital after suffering a self-inflicted gunshot wound in his home on Columbus's south side. Police tell me this may have been an accident, but the consequences could have been much more severe.
We are extremely thankful that this child didn't lose their life.
A preschooler lucky to be alive after suffering a gunshot wound. This all happened around 6 p.m. Saturday evening in the 600 block of Hanford Street.
Best we can tell, and this is from the child himself, he sat down on a piece of furniture. That piece of furniture had like a pillow on it, and there must have been a gun underneath that pillow. And when he sat down, the gun went off, kind of close to his rear end.
Neighbors describe heavy sirens, and the boy gurneyed off to the hospital.
I looked out the window, there's 3 cop cars pointing in the driveway, and I looked out the door, and I see them all flying down the street.
Columbus police say the boy was able to articulate to medical personnel and police that this was all accidental, but neighbors say the parents should be held responsible.
The city of Columbus needs to put a stop to it. The grown-ups got guns, hide them, get rid of them, do whatever. They don't need to be around here.
Some of the boys' caregivers are in custody, and the importance of responsible gun ownership is top of mind.
That goes with storing the gun safely in your house, put it in a safe, lock it up, get gun locks, something that keeps a child from being able to access a firearm. That gun was within an arm's reach of the child. They sat on it, somehow it went off, striking them. So
Columbus police tell me the boy's family has been cooperative with this investigation, but they still could face charges.
Also, a teen is in the hospital recovering, and an 18-year-old is now facing charges this morning after a drive-by shooting in the Hilltop. Police say at 9:15 last night, George Valdez and possibly some others shot at a group of teenagers. The teen who was hit is expected to recover. Valdez is now facing 3 charges of felonious assault and is locked up this morning. An investigation to identify other potential suspects is currently underway.